Okay, we have more news here at Not Joe Christian, um, which is now the function is to do articles from Real Raw News by Michael Baxter without the general's voice. And this is comes out on October 29th, 2021. Chelsea Clinton Military Tribunal, Day 2. And to get to it, Day 1 of Chelsea Clinton's military tribunal had ended abruptly when her lawyer, Clinton Foundation attorney Robert S. Harrison, excused himself from the proceedings to take what he said was an urgent telephone call that could reshape the outcome of the trial, purportedly to Chelsea's benefit. When the tribunal resumed Wednesday morning, however, Harrison entered the courtroom with a grim frown on his sleepless face. He sat beside a handcuffed Chelsea Clinton, who had smiled as he approached and whispered something in her ear. Her grin turned suddenly dark, and she hung her head as Harrison apologized profusely to the commission for having interrupted witness testimony the day before. I take it your new evidence didn't pan out? Rear Admiral Darcy E. Crandall said of Harrison's alleged mysterious phone call. Neither I nor my client nor I accept the legality of this tribunal. But for what it's worth, I am sorry for the delay. Harrison said, I take it there'll be no further delays? Rear Admiral Crandall replied, only if I must. Harrison said, his brusque tone clearly illustrated contempt and a palpable personal enmity toward Rear Admiral Crandall. Mark Mezvinsky returned to the stand, and Rear Admiral Crandall asked him to recount his early days as Chelsea Clinton's husband. At first, it was wonderful, blissful, serene. We were in love. We never fought. We did everything together. I got along smashingly with her parents, and she with mine. It really seemed like a marriage made in heaven, and I was looking forward to spending my whole life with her. Mezvinsky said, unaware of the irony. Rear Admiral Crandall asked Mezvinsky to clarify what at first meant. About 9 months into our marriage, everything changed to shit. This sweet woman became a bossy bitch. It was like a light switch had been flipped. Harrison sprung to his feet, unceremoniously objecting that his client's demeanor was not on trial. What is this? Are you charging Chelsea Clinton with being nasty and bossy? This is outrageous. Harrison said, this is a military tribunal, Mr. Harrison. You have no authority to object. Rear Admiral Crandall admonished him. Then I renew my rejection on the grounds that my client is not and never was a member of the United States military and therefore cannot be charged for any crime in this venue. Harrison barked. Rear Admiral Crandall's eyes narrowed, and he instructed two Marines who were guarding the chamber doors to eject Harrison from the courtroom. Harrison protested, decrying the tribunal as an indecorous den of depravity. As the Marines expelled him and locked the courtroom doors, Rear Admiral Crandall addressed Chelsea. Your advocate has bad legal decorum. I hope you, at least, understand the severity of the charges against you. For the first time, Chelsea Clinton spoke. I refuse to speak. All the better, Rear Admiral Crandall quipped. Please continue, Mr. Mezvinsky. Mr. Mezvinsky elaborated on how Chelsea had rapidly metamorphosed from a loving wife into a spitting image of her mother a foul-mouthed hag whose niggling and incessant demands eroded his dignity and moral compass. I was told by Chelsea and Hillary that if I wanted to be with Chelsea, I'd have to participate in the family business, Mesvinsky said. On the surface, aiding the Clinton Foundation in its legal business, he continued. And beneath the surface, Rear Admiral Crandall said, I methodically destroyed any evidence that linked the Clintons to a child trafficking ring that Hillary was in charge of and Chelsea participated in. I know it was wrong, but I loved her and blindly did whatever it took to keep her, Mesvinsky said. He claimed Chelsea, under her mother's tutelage, had overseen the abduction of hundreds of children in the United States and Haiti. I want to cooperate, Mr. Crandall, but I have a splitting headache. I know you don't want delays, but is it possible to continue tomorrow? Mesvinsky asked. Rear Admiral Crandall seemed to deliberate the question. In the interest of cooperation, I'll grant the request and we'll resume Thursday at 8 a.m. Note: Michael Baxter is a day behind in getting reports, so we'll update as soon as possible. So remember to love God as if He's the most important thing in your life, because He is the most important thing in your life. He is your judge. He knows your every thought, your every action, your every moral decision. He is your maker. He is the maker of the universe you inhabit. And if you think that you have God, but you have judged something else to be more important, say a fan crush or another fan crush on top of the first fan crush, or your YouTube channel, or your career, or your reputation, or your desire for power, or your desire for attention, or your desire for money, or your family, your children, your house project, whatever that you've dedicated more real estate, mental real estate to than your Heavenly Father, then you have judged your Heavenly Father to be less important than any of these idols that you're worshiping. And therefore, you don't actually have the God of the Bible in your life at all. You have an idol. And when you worship an idol, so I'm told, and I do believe, that ends badly. But, oh, and if you have a therapy dog god or a counsel, no, a God who's more like a consultant who doesn't disagree with you, also you don't have God in your life. But if you do love the God of the Bible, if you do love Him with all your heart and all your soul and all your mind, or you'd be willing to die trying, then you're going to want to share. And the best way, the most effective way to share your Heavenly Father, I have on the divine authority of Jesus Christ, the only begotten Son of the living God, and the only way to your Heavenly Father, is by conducting yourself so well, by behaving so that your behavior so shines that the people looking at your behavior will say to themselves, I want some of that.